I'm Julien Saunders, co-creator of richandregular.com, real estate investor, aspiring early retiree.
And I'm Kiersten Saunders, mom to Bo, wife to Julien. I have a long list of things that I am. But most importantly, what did you say? Aspiring early retiree.
We're on the journey to financial independence, and so we've been on this path really since shortly after we met.
I think our FI number was somewhere around 1.3 million, but the way we calculated it was we used the 25x rule as a baseline. When we first started it, it was closer to 1 million. But since then we've had a child, we've started to incorporate our mother-in-law into our plans. We kind of multiplied it, then gave it a haircut, and then we're just kind of figuring it out.
So our monthly expenses are about $5,000 between mortgage and daycare. Those are the big ones, like mortgage that we have now, even though part of that is offset by our rentals. Daycare is another big one. Good morning. But we've shaved where we can, and so we don't have cable. We've already paid off our student loan debt. We don't have any car notes. I still drive the same car that I bought in 2009. Kiersten still drives her old car.
2006. I don't have a gym membership. I use a state-of-the-art facility in my basement that I created. I think it's a misperception that you have to go to a gym to be active and to be healthy and to transform your body, and that's just not true. I YouTube everything from beauty routines, so things that I used to pay for, I now can do on my own. I bring my lunch to work almost every day.
Yeah, those are some of the ways that we practice frugality.
So the idea of creating a blog and calling it Rich and Regular started on our honeymoon. We had just spent a life-changing 2 weeks in South Africa. For the first time, we didn't have to be so aware that we were Black or so aware that we were Black and well off. And it completely changed our lives because that is the norm there. We're not other there. And so we wanted to create a space to attract more people to a community where you're not the other. You're just rich and regular. You're just you're a regular person.
This was our first rental property. We bought this in 2014 for $62,000. It was priced at $62,900. We bought it for $62,000, and we just accepted an offer for $145,000. So we launched the blog in September 2017. The response at first was incredible, and I'd like to say that I was surprised by that, but again, we've been listening to our friends talk about the frustration that comes with being well paid but not feeling like you thought you would feel when you got there. I have the house, I have the job, I have the partner, I've got everything that I thought I wanted, but I still feel broke because I spend so much money. And so we started, one, with telling our own stories and struggles about this thing. And then we used it as a vessel to introduce FIRE to a community where the message really hadn't quite penetrated. And so we're trying to act as a bridge to connect this movement to the African American community. Oh, it's been fun, buddy. Seriously, this is I spent, to your point, right? So it took 2 years to save up the down payment. I remember buying books and just the whole process, you gotta learn this stuff, and so now it's to see this is a literal closing of a chapter. If you're gonna sing, then sing. You BSing, you don't know how to, you need to sing. We cook a lot at home. We do not go out to eat that often, and we have the benefit that, I used to be a professional chef, and so I really apply that professional part of my brain to cross-utilize all the ingredients to make sure that there's no waste, because that also helps to keep the cost manageable. So they don't have prime rib, but this is a great example where I would consider, oh, here it would be. So I could just get this entire side of New York strips. I can get 10 steaks out of this for 50 bucks. That's roughly a little over $5 a steak, which that's a great deal. Yeah, so $83. I've got pears, dragon fruit, probably 10 New York strips. My wife's from Texas, so she loves a good steak. So this will be Christmas come early. There's a recent study that showed that by 2053, the average black family net worth will be zero. And so it's 2019 now, we're trending down in the wrong direction, clearly. When we now turn inward and look at the FIRE community, many of the people that we've befriended and learned from, they've just taken very different approaches to ways to save, and the success rate is night and day. It's one of the reasons why we're attracted to the movement, but also one of the reasons why we're trying to share it with other people, because these are amounts that most people generally can't even wrap their heads around. But when you talk about how simple it is to do it, may not be easy, but it's relatively simple. It's say, hey, make a short-term sacrifice. Trade off spending in these areas for a short period of time, and then after that, you can do whatever you want. I see that, and I see the movement as a pathway to create more Black millionaires than I do corporate America, hands down.